Okay, let's talk. Let's talk about this magical announcement. So, it's been a year, 2020 has been a year. And as I talked to you on Tuesday, every quarter has presented different challenges, different struggles, different celebrations, trying to figure it out. We came in to 2020 ranked number 6 in the entire company, which was a crazy town, and navigated through the pandemic, which started really in quarter 1. We all navigated at different times. My girls came home mid-March, which was a weird, scary time in quarter 1 because they were in New York City, the epicenter of this virus. They literally watched the city shut down. Jesse still talks about going into Dwayne Reedy and shelves being wiped out of everything and bringing them home, getting them home in March. Kind of took up quarter 1, but we're still we had incredible fire momentum. And as I talked about on Tuesday, I was in this team page every day from January to June, live almost every single day. Literally, if I go back, I have hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of video footage as we all navigated this situation that we've never navigated before. And that really took up quarter 1 and quarter 2. And then quarter 3 was June, July, August, and Summit is virtual, and we could finally start to maybe even travel just a little bit. Speaking of travel just a little bit and leave our homes just a little bit. And again, it's strange because every place is so different. I talked to my brother in South Carolina. He's like, yeah, we're all opened up. Everyone's just wandering around like everything's okay. And I'm like, yeah, because everything's not okay. So it's very different from region to region. And here we find ourselves in quarter 4. There are 92 days left in 2020. Last Monday, when we started Project 100, there were 100 days left in 2020. Today, there are 92. And today, on October 1st, this brand new month, as we head directly into these last 3 months with 92 days left in 2020, we also get a full moon tonight, which is really a symbol of cleansing and letting go, especially this one. This is a harvest moon, so named by the Native Americans. And it's really a symbol of clarification, of letting go, of purging, which I think is so even more appropriate right now, right? As we head into the end of the year. And certainly every person on this team has had challenges and struggles. Certainly everyone has. No one's hard is harder than someone else's. We all have hard in different ways. And sometimes that hard is magnified by the story we tell ourselves and how we carry that hard. And I think quarter 4, these last 3 months with this full moon, with this new month today. And frankly, let's be honest, I believe we've navigated what's probably the hardest part of this pandemic, right? We don't know that. We don't know what's coming, but I think we've navigated through it. We've gotten through it. Where's my lightsaber? We've gotten through what I think is the hardest part of this pandemic. We made it through. And while we might not be ranked number 6 right now, we have made it through. And we are still on our mission. We are still very clear as to what our mission is. And again, I talked about this a little bit on Tuesday, that it's expectations versus intentions. I expected us to be in a very different place as a team and in our business than we are right now. I expected that. But my intention hasn't changed. Just because where we are and maybe the reality of where we are is different than what my expectations were, which sometimes those expectations don't do us any favors. But if we live with our intention, my intention from the beginning, even if I couldn't verbalize it 12 years ago, but from the beginning has been to help women in particular build legacy, impact, and income through this business. That's my intention. Not every coach comes in and wants to do that, and that's okay, but that doesn't change my intention. My intention is to build legacy, impact, and income through this business. And while my expectation of where we'd be right now is a little bit different than where we actually are, and yours might be too, What are your intentions with this business? And if you dial into that and you know what your intentions are, it really doesn't matter kind of where you are in the business if you're staying true to those intentions. And speaking of intentions, when I started this business 12 years ago, I really didn't know the potential of it. I know that many of you know that the first sort of goal that I made with this business, with any kind of income that I might be able to create, was that I was going to buy my Nikes to teach my classes, that I was going to pay for the music that I needed to teach my classes. And then that vision started to grow a little bit, and I actually was able to open a Disney fund and take my family back to Disney when we hadn't been for a few years because we, were struggling financially. And I still remember that, when we would get paper checks and I would take my check down to the bank and I would have them divide it, and part of it would go into my Disney fund and part of it would go into my regular fund. And I would very tangibly, like in person, do that. And I remember making that last payment on our Disney trip, and the bank tellers that were there, the people that worked behind the desk, like they all clapped and they cheered because they knew what I had been working so hard to do. And when I made that last payment, like they were as excited for our family as I was. And somewhere in the midst of that, I've grown up as a lifelong Disney fan. I went for the very first time when I was 3, and have really special, deep memories of it. And it's always been kind of part of my DNA and kind of part of this team's DNA as well. And I remember kind of in the midst of all of this, we went to what was called a game plan event, and it was in Tennessee, and we road tripped as we did because this was before we had any events in Indiana quite yet. And we road tripped to this game plan event and piled in the car, shared rooms. Rachel and Ophelia, I don't know who else was in my room. That was probably it, because I'm very picky about who shares my room. And then Ophelia snored the whole night, and then she forgot her tennis shoes, and they had to go to Walmart at like midnight to get tennis shoes. It was just, those are the memories. That's the fabric of this team. And I remember when we drove home from that event, because Carl was at that little baby event, and we learned all these 10 points of the game plan. And we got in the car and we drove back from Tennessee to Indiana. And I don't know if it was Ophelia that asked me, but she was in the back seat. I remember that. And somewhere in the conversation, she must have asked me what the goal was. And I turned around and I said, we're going to be a Superstar Diamond team. And when we are, I'm going to take this team to Disney. And she says, she never forgot that. She always remembers that statement. And that kind of became this guiding principle. I'm going to take this team to Disney. We're going to be a Superstar Diamond team. I'm going to take this team to Disney. Now, it took us 7 years to get there. It took us 7 years to become a Superstar Diamond team. We sat at 9-star for a while. That's because I sat at 9-star for a while. The lid of the team is the leader. You're always the lid on you, your business, your relationships, your life, always. That's a beautiful thing. When people say about this business, oh, I know it's just me, I have to get out of my own way. Well, yeah, that's what everything is. That's what everything is. So if your business isn't where you want it to be, or you're not growing or learning or evolving, whatever, well, that's on you. And that's beautiful, because that means that's on you. And so when we sat at 9-star for a while, that's because I was sitting at 9-star for a while. And suddenly, the light changes, and you start looking for the green lights, and you start realizing that it is you and that you are the lid on your team, and stuff starts to come together because you start to open up and you let go of some of the other stuff that was holding you down. And we found ourselves celebrating being a Superstar Diamond team. On April 15th, 2015, we became a 15-star diamond team. Don't tell me that was a coincidence. You can't put that many 15s together unless it was meant to be. That was the journey that we were going to take. And that was in April. And in August 2015, I took that team to Disney for the first time. And I think that, I know Sandra's on here. I know she was in there. And I think that it was surprising to a lot of people. I think there's a little bit of I call it the oh shit moment, because I think there were a lot of coaches who were like, oh shit, she wasn't kidding. She wasn't kidding about that Disney trip. I'm like, no, I was not. We went to a spa. We stayed at Dana Point. We went to a spa. Who else is on here that was on that trip? April, I think you were on that trip. Sandra was on that trip. And we went to Dana Point Spa, which looks like the Grand Floridian. It's stunning. And we spent the day at Disney. And what else did we do? Oh, we had a Payo class outside on the lawn. It was just like, I couldn't believe that this business that I knew nothing about at all. I'd never owned a business. I'd never seen anyone in my growing up years own a business who was female. I'd never seen anyone do that. Anyone who was female in my small town either stayed in my small town and got married out of high school, became a teacher, or became a nurse. That's all I saw. I didn't see anyone, be a business owner who was a female, build a business. I didn't see any of that. And here I was, just really like all of you, digging into this passion for helping people and loving health and fitness and starting to see the potential in it. And from my kitchen table, we took a freaking trip to Disneyland. I mean, it's still like, when I think about it, I'm like, what? It's crazy. Well, that's what this business can do. That's what this business can do in your life. You can go from wanting to buy Nikes to taking your family to Disney, to taking your team to Disney, to literally creating a team of women that you want to hang out with and take to Disney. And then since that year, we've taken 2 more trips to Disney. Did we go the next year in 2016? Then we didn't go in 2017, and then we went in 2018. And each trip has gotten a little bit better. We've done something a little bit different each time. So like the second time we went, because the first time we went, we stayed at this amazing resort, which was beautiful and gorgeous, but we actually wanted more time at Disneyland. So the second time we went, we stayed at the Disneyland Hotel. Awesome. We loved it. But then the third time we went, we stayed at the Grand Californian, which was like, we just keep leveling up. But we stayed at the Grand Californian, and that has the spa, so people could go to the spa. And we went in September or October, and we went to the Halloween party. So like every trip, we just kept leveling up and making it better and better and better. Well, then comes 2020, and we come barreling out of the gate at number 6 in January. I'm like, baby, okay, here we go. This is the year. And then it is the year that is 2020. And it's a weird, strange, surreal year. It affects every team differently. And in that Q3, we had a lot of coaches who had momentum simply choose to not anymore. Really, that's what it is. Simply choose to not anymore. And, again, going back to where we were before, we just... I also became the lid on the team, trying to figure out, do you need me in here every day? Do you not need me in here every day? And just like every coach on this team is navigating through this surreal year, so am I. I'm trying to figure out where are my children going to be in the fall? Does my husband have a job in the fall? Like what's happening? I know many of you know my mom is older. She's 92. She's in assisted living. She actually just went into the hospital this week. Like we all have stuff. We're all trying to navigate stuff. And that affects our business differently, but we all still come together and we're still navigating this incredible mission that we're on because it's worth it, because my intention hasn't changed. My expectation of where this team should be, it's not the same, but my intention hasn't changed. I'm still here to build legacy, impact, and income, and I want to do it with women who want to do that too. Sorry, men, like ya, but I want to do it with women who want to do that too. I want that team of high vibe women who are on a mission, who love the hustle, who will show up when it's inconvenient, who love the fun, who want to go to Disney and put on a pair of ears and don't think it's corny. all those things, that's who I want to do it with. And the more I thought about that, in August and September, the more I thought, it's just freaking time. It is time to plan another trip to Disney. And so ladies and gentlemen, if they're on here, but mostly ladies, I unveil to you today, Diamonds to Disney 2022. Diamonds to Disney 2022. Yes, I don't care what the freak is going on in this world. We are taking a trip and leaving our homes and going to Disney, okay? Now, let me tell you who's going on this trip and all the other things around it. So first, I need to tell you this. You know my coach. You know who my coach is. You know who your great grandma, whatever coach is. I get no recognition. Our team gets no recognition from my coach. My coach has never taken me on a trip of any kind. So I want to be the kind of coach that I want, if that makes sense. I think recognition is super important. Not all the time. Some stuff you do because you're supposed to, because you're the CEO of a multi-million-dollar business. And you don't need somebody every single time you sell a challenge pack, right? But I think recognition's important. I think team bonding is important. I think coming together is important. And you probably know that I think gift giving is really, really, really important. It's my love language. That's what I do. I didn't have that from my coach. I didn't see that growing up. So I just decided to be that. I just decided to be what I would like. And that's a coach that sends gifts. And that's a coach who doesn't handhold. And that's a coach who doesn't micromanage. And that's a coach who takes their team to Disney. Because that's what I would want. And that's who I want to hang out with. So, ladies and gentlemen, Diamonds to Disney 2022. This will pertain first and foremost to my personally sponsored coaches. But wait. It will be first and foremost my personally sponsored coaches. But wait, it will also be to their coaches. So coaches who are just one level underneath me. Oh, what? That's right, because I level up every time. If we're going back and we're waiting until 2022, it's going to be better than the time we were there before. So it's first and foremost my personally sponsored coaches. It's next their coaches underneath you. And then it's any coach on this team who just wants to come to Disney, right? Like, I was so concerned about, oh my gosh, I want to make sure everyone's included. Include yourself. You know, you include yourself. You are the CEO of a multi-million-dollar business. If you are not my personally sponsored coach or one of my personally sponsored coaches, if you are 16 levels down from me, then use this trip as an incentive, as a spark to create a trip that you take your team on and meet us at Disney. And adopted coaches too, and meet us at Disney. You know, it's not like you can't go. It's not like I own Disney. I mean, I don't. I wish, but I don't. And if we go on this trip and you are 16 levels down from me and you can't earn the trip for me, because y'all, I can't, we are a 12-year veteran team. As much as I wish I could take every single coach on this team and pay for it, I don't make that much money. Please, I got 3 kids in college. So some of this, you know what? I want you to take it. I want you to let that pixie dust sprinkle on you. And I want you to start organizing your own team and your own trip and your own incentive and meet us at Disney. Here's the requirements to go to Disneyland on my Diamonds to Disney trip. Again, use it as incentive. My personally sponsored coaches. So first of all, the trip will take place in 2022, early spring, February or March. That's important to know because the qualifications will be in August. Yeah, you heard me. So my personally sponsored coaches and your coaches. So here's me. Here's my personally sponsored. Here's right underneath them. You matter too. You matter too. Okay? So the trip will be like February. I got my notes here because I don't want to say anything wrong. February, March, something 2022. We will stay at the Grand Californian, period. End of discussion. When the last time we stayed there, I'm like, we're coming back, and this is where we will stay. Sparta Nation will stay at the Grand Californian because we are grand, and we will be in California, and we can walk right out into Disneyland. So that's where we will stay. When you hit the following qualifications, I pay for your park tickets and I pay for your lodging. And April, Sandra, you can attest, you're well taken care of on these trips. Yes, you are well taken care of on these trips. So here's what you have to do. First of all, write these dates down. And if you are not one of my personally sponsored coaches or one of their coaches, if you're one of these, if you are 16 levels down, you should write these dates down too. Why not align with the entire team? The entire team. August 12th through September 22nd. August 12th through September 22nd. You're going to have to hit the qualifications that I'm going to tell you, and you're going to have to hold them. Period. You'll have to hit and you'll have to hold. So even if you hit earlier in the year, you have to be holding in that time frame. Period. Okay, here we go. JV's personally sponsored coaches. You listening? If you, April says, I leave no detail behind. I don't play if we're going to Disney. I do not play because we don't go to Disney every month as a team. It's a big deal. When we go in 2022 and it was 2018 since the last time we went, are you kidding me? Oh, it is so on. It is so on. Qualification number 1. If you are a lifetime diamond by the end of this year, so let's see, Jen, I'm talking to you because you're a lifetime diamond already. By the end of this year, you will advance 2 of your coaches to 2-star next year, and they will hold in that time frame. So I'm using Jen as an example. She's a lifetime diamond. She's actually a lifetime 1-star. She will have to advance 2, not have to, I'm sorry. She gets to help 2 coaches advance to diamond, and they hold in that August time frame. That also, I mean, let's face it, Jen will have another diamond by then, but let's say she only makes those 2, that makes her a 2-star or a 3-star or 4-star. It aligns with corporate recognition as well, because I make all incentives that we do to align with corporate recognition. So if you are a lifetime diamond, you must advance 2 diamonds. So who else is on here? Like April, Sandra, Rebecca, lifetime diamonds, veteran coaches. They have to have 2 new, not get back to, 2 new diamonds, and they have to hold during that August 12th to September 22nd time frame. Cool? That's number 1. So you're a lifetime diamond, you have to have 2. Jen, I'll continue to use you. Jen, you advance 2 diamonds. You're holding your diamond. You advance 2 diamonds. Those 2 diamonds can come on the trip and have their park tickets paid for. Their park tickets paid for. Everyone's got to get their own flights because everyone does their own flights. You know, some people like to use their miles. Some people like to fly cheap. Some people can only come in for a certain amount of time. Some people are willing to do a red eye. I'm no longer willing to do a red eye. So starting January 1st, 2021, let's just say Jen Moore, I'm using Jen as an example, is a diamond coach. She advances 2 diamonds. Those 2 diamonds get their park tickets paid for. So it's not just about my coaches. It's about my coaches' coaches. And then what if Jen's coach, who gets to diamond, says to her emeralds, dude, if you come, I'll pay for your park tickets. Or who knows? I don't care what you do with it. You know, use it as an incentive. What I will do is take care of my personally sponsored coaches for your lodging, for your park tickets, for dinner, presents, Mickey ears, all the fun things. I will also take care of your 2 Diamonds park tickets. You can do a myriad of other things to incentivize your people, and we take over Disneyland. Okay, that's someone who is a diamond. What if you're not a lifetime diamond? What if you're not mine? You're like, I'm not a diamond yet. You're sitting on here watching. You are, who's on here that's not a lifetime diamond yet? Who's one of mine? Kristen Gaither, you're watching this. You're not a lifetime diamond yet. When you get to diamond next year and you hold it, you can get to diamond before then. But if you get to diamond before then, you also have to have 2 diamonds. Duh, you want to. Sandra, tell them how awesome it is to be a 2-star. Why? Because what do you get, Sandra? What do you get when you get to be a 2-star? Because Sandra just hit 2-star last week or 2 weeks ago. What do you get when you hit 2-star? You get the quarter, say it with me, bonus. You get the quarter bonus. So what could that do? Oh, I don't know. Pay for your tickets to fly out there? Like, it all adds up. So let's say someone comes on to the team and they're one of my coaches and they come on in January and they hit diamonds. They get to go. They're part of mine. Yeah, they get to go. They're part of mine. So I would take them, and it's just like the 15-star trip. Everyone was a diamond. Everyone who was a diamond who was part of that trip got to go. I took them park tickets, lodging, fun stuff. Okay? If you advance your team to 5-star or elite, and you do that by that August little time frame, I will have other fun, cool stuff for you. So make that your goal, Make that your goal. Like for someone, Sandra, who's sitting at 2-star, maybe she's like, okay, dude, I'm going to get to 3-star by the end of this year. I'm going to finish 2020 as a 3-star. And then with this incentive, this Disney trip, I have to have 2 new diamonds. Cool. I'm going to do that, which would mean Sandra could be a 5-star next year working on elite. What? I know. It all aligns with corporate recognition. And then you get a Disney trip. So my personally sponsored coaches, you're either working to get to diamond, you're working to get 2 new diamonds, and you're going to hold it. I don't care if you hit diamond in February. You are still holding it August 12th through September 22nd. That is non-negotiable. August 12th through September 22nd, non-negotiable. If you drop it during that point in time, you are out of the trip. I'm so sorry. I'm telling you it now. I'm telling you it like a year in advance. August 12th through September 22nd, you will hold that. All who do that, all my PS coaches who hold their diamond, they're going on the trip. All my PS coaches who've created 2 diamonds, those 2 diamonds are part of the trip too. I'm paying for their park tickets. They got to get their way out there. Those of you, they're like, well, I'm 25 levels down from you. This is your opportunity to create your own trip around this and meet us out there. We're staying at the Grand Californian. As soon as I know the dates, I will tell you, because I will want my coaches who need to book airfare to be able to do that as quickly as possible. That's why you have to hold and hit by September 22nd. Because if we're going to go in February or March, you got to get your tickets, right? And I always want you to get the best airfare possible, the best deal possible. I set these timelines up very deliberately. I didn't just whatever. These timelines are very deliberate. We start January 1st. You have to hold starting August 12th through the 22nd, and everyone who does gets to go on a trip. Again, you are 25 levels down from me. This is your opportunity to incentivize your team during this same time frame so we can be cheering each other on, and we all meet out there, and we all meet at the Grand Californian and we take over Disneyland. Like, can you imagine? The first year we went, not all the 15 could go. And also of the 15, 3 were me, because I had multiple business centers. So I think there were, I don't know, what do you guys think? Sandra, what do you think? Like 7? Hold on, Sandra. I'm going to get to that. there may be 7 of us that went. By the time we went for the 3rd time and we stayed in the Grand Californian, there were like 20. Like I was taking 20 people. I'm not playing around. The oh shit moment that people had in 2015 when they're like, well, she's joking. If we get to Superstar, maybe no, I'm not joking. When we go, and we do it right because it's Disney and we're not playing. And if we earn our trip, we are going. So Sandra's got a great question, and I'm so glad you asked because that is what I'm hoping you will do. That is what I'm hoping you will do. I'm going to pay for your lodging anyway, right? So Sandra, who's my personally sponsored coach, she has an opportunity to go on this trip by creating 2 new diamonds, 2 new diamonds. Those new diamonds, we'll call them Sally and Mary, okay? Sandra creates 2 new diamonds, Sally, Mary. I pay for Sally and Mary's park tickets. I don't pay for anybody's flight. I let you do that on your own. But I pay for Sally and Mary's park tickets. Well, Sandra's going to get a room because she's one of mine. She already knows I'm paying for her room. Why would she not bring her 2 people in to her room? What a beautiful extra incentive for those 2 new diamonds. What if Sandra's got a couple other coaches on her team that were diamond, fell. What if Sandra uses it as an incentive to those veteran coaches? Like if you get back to diamond and you hold during this time, you can share the room too. Or I'll kick in and help you guys get a room. What an amazing opportunity that you get to incentivize your coaches. This trip should be an incentive for the entire team, whether I'm footing your bill or not. Because just like I can't show up every day and rally you, and you sold the challenge back, just like I can't show up every day and rally you, I can't pay for every single person on this team to go to Disney, but I can create an opportunity that you can, that I can take the coaches who invested in me, who said, all right, I'm going to go along with you. I'm going to take your hand and we're going to walk this journey together. And I can also help their coaches. I can do that. And then I can create an opportunity that you can incentivize your friends, your coaches, your people, your team, and you can bring them along and we can all be there together. That's what this should be. This should be a freaking Sparta Nation family reunion in 2022. Some of which I'm writing a check for, and some of which you might be writing a check for because you've built your business so much that you are, and you're incentivizing your coaches, just like I'm incentivizing you. So what I don't want, what I'm hoping doesn't happen, is that you just are the recipient. Do you know what I mean? Like the recipient. Don't just be the person who absorbs. Be the person who absorbs and reflects, and absorbs and reflects, and absorbs and reflects. Let me take it and let me give it. Don't just be the person who absorbs it and goes, well, this is cool. I get to go to Disney. We for me. That's not what any of this business is about anyway. None of this business is about, well, let me get fit. Myself, me, myself, and I. This business is, how can I get fit and help others do the same? How can I get fit and help others do the same? So to my coaches, yay, Kate's on here. So Kate will go, I'm going to take this in. Let me help my team. I'm going to take this in. Let me help my team. And the trickle down, the ripple effect becomes, oh my gosh, you guys, it's so much greater than anything I could do ever on my own, ever. If we all get on board with this, it's so much greater than anything I could ever do on my own. So we're still trying, we're still working to create our 40 diamonds. We have 3 months, y'all. Come on. There are several of you that I know, they're like 1 emerald away. Come on. Get up on that board. We're still working to create our 40 diamonds in 2020. We have a launch next week with 30-Day Breakaway. An incredible new female Latina super trainer. The first Latina super trainer with Beachbody, the first super trainer to create a bilingual program, the first super trainer to create a running program. This could be the program for not just coaches, but people in your ecosystem that flips the switch for them. This could be the game-changing program for someone. We have a launch next week. In December, we have 9-week Control Freak. I anticipate this to be every bit as big as 80-day Obsession. We have 9-week Control Freak. What if you use the next 3 months to set yourself up to freaking rocket launch into 2021? What if you dig into Project 100 and your habits, your tracking, your growth is so off the chart because you've done it every single day for 100 days, and you dig into a launch next week and a launch in December, and you're so set up that you create your 2 diamonds in January. Oh, and by the way, you create 2 more. And all of a sudden by August, you're sitting at 4 or 5 star. Because you can if you do this with some intention and some energy and focus. And we use this as a momentum builder for the team. So we've got this billboard on our cover photo that's got plenty of room for lots of other diamonds to get up there with you. We've got a Project 100 focused on habits. We have 2 launches between now and the end of the year. We have 3 months. We have 92 days to set ourselves up for the start of January 2021, fresh year, clean slate. No matter what happens, we've already lived through 2020. We've already lived through 2020. We know no matter what happens in 2021, we're going to be fine because we are living through 2020. We are already proving that to ourselves. We set ourselves up to rocket launch into 2021. And by August 12th, we are locked and loaded into place, holding for those 6 weeks. And we start to plan for realsies a trip to Disneyland. Trip number 4. From my kitchen table, the same one that's up there right now, from a tiny little town in central Illinois to my kitchen table, to taking a team to Disneyland, to incentivizing an entire downline to go to Disneyland and have the biggest Sparta Nation family reunion. That's awesome that Beachbody will organize some stuff, but how about we not wait on other people to organize stuff for us? How about we choose ourselves and our time and our place and our incentives, and we build our business to take ourselves where we want to go and be with our team, and we bring our coaches along with us, and we do it for us, and we show our families that we can do it too, and we go, I say upstairs because I'm in my basement, and we go upstairs or into our living room or wherever, and we announce to our family, today, I'm in this. I am a horse in this race, baby. And I am setting up my foundation. I am building strong in 2020. And I am rocket launching in 2021. And I am on that trip to Disney, paid for by my coach. What if we did that? What if we walked in and announced that to our family and doubled down on our accountability? Because you better believe that my family knew my goal was to take us, my family, to Disney. They knew it. They knew when I went down to the bank on Thursdays. They knew how much was in that Disney account. And they knew when we opened the door at the Contemporary and went back in for that first time after being away for a few years, they knew it was this business that took us there. They knew it. That's powerful stuff, y'all. That's powerful stuff. Not just for your family, but for you. I think we are most afraid of our potential. We're most afraid of what we actually might be capable of doing. And we get to a place and we almost sabotage ourselves, bring it back down to something we're comfortable with. I think that's what I did with top 10. I was excited about top 10, but it was like, whoa, I've never been there before. Let's say, ooh, maybe I should just bring that back down a little bit. That's on me. And that's a learning and growing experience, isn't it? As a leader. I experienced where I thought our level was. I had no expectation for us to come out of the gate to be number 6, to be 12, to be 14, to be 9. I had no idea. And all of a sudden it was a little bit like winning the lottery. And what do I do with this? And I had to bring myself down a little bit. And that's on me, that we're still not in the top 10. But that's the cool thing about this business and the learning and the growing. We know that we are the limit to ourselves. And I think that's what we're most afraid of, that our potential and our possibility truly is unlimited. Can you imagine? Can you imagine standing in the middle of a swampland in Orlando? Can you imagine standing in Anaheim, California and going, I am going to build something the likes of which no one has ever seen? I mean, that's what we're doing every single day. And we're going to take our team to a place where someone stood in the middle of nothing and created this magical place. So magical that we want to take our teams to it. We want to see that vision. What if you get done from this and go tell your family what you're going to do? And then what if you keep that promise to yourself? Just like you're keeping the promise every single day in Project 100. It's the most important promise that you can make. And if you can keep that promise to yourself, you can do anything. But that's the one I think we're most afraid of. Just what exactly we could accomplish in this life. Well, here's the cool part. If we do it together, it's not quite so scary, right? If we do it together, we're not dependent on one person, you know? It's Team Beachbody, and Carl's the CEO, but he's not the only person in charge. So his visions and his ideas and the stuff he wants to implement, they become a little less scary because he's got people to help him. So our potential, our dreams, our goals, they become a little less scary because we have each other to help us, to cheer us on. And again, if you're that coach who's 15 levels down, why not catch this wind, catch this fire, and give it to your own teams and go, we're going to Disneyland in February, March, whenever they go, we're going. Because we're a part of this team too, Sparta Nation, no matter how many levels down you are, we're a part of this team too. And we're going to go, and I'm going to use this as an incentive for my team, just like I did on my own way back in the day. No one did it for me. No one showed me. I just did, because that's the coach I wanted. Be the coach you want. Become the human that you want to be every single day by keeping that promise to yourself. And we'll do it together, and that way it won't be so scary. Think of the lives that we can change. Think of the lives we still have yet to change in 2020. Think of the magic that we can create in 2021. I just think it's time, don't you? If you are in with me to go to Disneyland in 2022, I don't know, drop a pumpkin or a sparkle or something in the chat, or tell me what you think in the chat. I've been thinking on this a long time and really mulling over ideas and thinking about how to announce it and thinking about how to share it and thinking about, I don't want anyone to be excluded if I talk about it in the team page, except I realized, you're not, because you're part of this team and you can take a trip to Disneyland too. Everyone's invited to the Sparta Nation party. Some people have a little different invitation, but everyone's invited. No one's excluded, because I hate that. One of my biggest fears in life is being excluded from stuff. And I don't want anyone to ever feel that way, ever. But I can't write a check for the entire team. So consider yourself invited to the Sparta Nation Disneyland party. And it's going to be epic, and it's going to be amazing. And we're going to use the momentum that we have started to create in 2020 and build on it. We're going to use our, vision of 40 diamonds in 2020. We're going to use our experience with being a top 10 team, and we're going to build on that. We're going to use the knowledge that we've done this superstar team thing before. We can do that again. We can do that again. It's nothing is new. Freaking A, superstars are like popping out every Thursday. Like it's like coming down from the sky. It's like water, turning on water. So we can do that again. People have got to diamond, so we can do that again. And it doesn't matter where you are on the team. You're invited to this Disneyland party. And let's have a beautiful Sparta Nation family reunion and create something really epic. And it started on September 21st with Project 100 as we dial back into the habits that we know will get us back on track Strip away the clutter. Strip away the clutter. We've all got clutter. We've all got baggage and we've all got weight. Strip it away. Let it go. It's not doing you any good. 2020 is hard enough. You don't need to carry any extra baggage. Don't let that shit weigh you down. Strip it away. Get really clear. Focus on the habits. Use the habits to help you get very clear. If your energy feels off, dial into why it feels off. Make some changes and build a really strong foundation for a supercalifragilisticexpialidocious 2021, because it can be if we choose for it to be. And I promise to work on my lid as well. And the next time we get to be number 6, I won't get so scared and so nervous and so like, I don't know what to do about this. I'll know because we've been there before, right? And as the next time we get closer to double superstar, because that's going to be one of the goals too, I won't be so scared or so nervous because we've been there before and we know what to do. And I'll work on my own lid if you work on yours. And I can promise you that I will spend my energy with the women on this team that I don't have to drag or pull or nag or ask or wonder or wish, that I will spend my energy with the highest vibe women that I can, because every single day in my affirmations, I write down, I live in Golden Oak on Walt Disney World property, and I host retreats for my team regularly where the highest vibe women on my team come, because I live in Disney. I write that down every day. We don't have to stay at the Grand Californian. We can stay at my house. And the highest vibe women will be included in that invitation, because that's who I want to work with. And I think it's who you want to work with too. So let's become that. Let's just make the choice to become that. It's there. Let's not be scared of our potential. Let's use each other to keep us on track. And let's make some magic together. You want to? I hope so, because I'm pretty excited about it. That's all. Questions, thoughts, comments, ideas? Anyone excited? I'm very excited. I've been thinking about it for a while. So it's going to be awesome. And of course I'll have a photographer. Duh. Of course we'll have Mickey ears. Duh. And of course, as we get closer, there'll be other incentives. So yeah, let's do this thing. Let's see if we can get some Disney music playing. And that's all. That's the big announcement. That's all we got. All right. See you guys later.